This is problem 4 from chapter 4 of Francois Tardieu's Backgammon Strategic Concepts book. Here's the position for blue. Our home board's in the bottom right. We've rolled double fours. Our opponent red has a checker on the bar. We'll look at the two top moves and try to figure out which one is best and why. Take a look at some things that matter for this position. Take a look at Tardieu's expert analysis getting feedback from XG. We'll look at Tardieu's summary. I'll compare this position with the previous position in chapter 4, and then I'll modify this position to confirm some of the conclusions made by Tardieu. At the end of the video, I'll show you Alex Eshaghian's YouTube channel, where he has a set of videos which go over some of the same concepts covered in this chapter in this position. Here are the two moves side by side. On the left, we're playing safely by making our 2-point and running two checkers out from our 21 to our 17. We're not leaving any blots in our home board. On the right, we're playing boldly by moving 21 to 5 with one of our checkers, hitting loose on our 5-point. Take a look at both the moves. Think of which one you would make over the board. Some things that matter in this position. Red's checker on the bar is going to make a difference. And when we're looking at the things that matter, we should look at the entire board, all four quadrants. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not just where the checkers are coming from, where they're going, but all four quadrants, the entire board. We should make note of red's blots on their 3-point and our 5-point. Make note of our advanced anchor here on the 21-point. Note red's 2-point home board. He's got the 5 and a 6 made. We've got 4 points made in our home board, the 1, 3, 4, and 6. And note our blots on our 8 and 10-point. Everything matters. Tardieu and XG say the play where we're running 2 from our 21 to our 17 and making our 2-point, and when we're playing safely because we're not leaving any blots in our home board, is not the best move to make. This move gives us a chance to get up from behind red's prime and start to bring our checkers around. We're improving our control of the outfield, and if red does enter, we can roll double sixes next. If red doesn't enter, we can roll double sixes and we can close red out completely by moving 17 to 5 twice next time. However, we're giving red a chance to anchor on our 20-point by not hitting this red blot, where they can establish a strong position, play an effective holding game, and greatly increase their control of the outfield. So if we don't hit red here on the our 5-point, and red does come in, red will have an anchor here that they can use to sit back and just wait for us to come into range and hit us. Play a holding game that way, just waiting, a waiting game. Importantly, we're not taking advantage of red's weak board. Red's only got 2 points covered in his home board, and he's got this blot also, and his prime isn't really developed yet. So that's why the second move, where we are hitting loose on the 5-point, getting red's blot off of there, off of 5-point, is rated the best by XG and Tardieu. This does take advantage of red's weak board by hitting their blot on our 5-point before they shore up their weaknesses, before they cover this blot, before they have a chance to anchor up here. Red's board is weak because they've only got 2 points covered. They've got a very undeveloped prime, just the 5, 6, and 7-point covered. So it'll be easy for us to escape if we ever do get hit. Well, they're not going to be able to hold us back. We've got this advanced anchor, which if we do get hit, we'll be able to come back on easily. And we may even hit this blot here on red's 3-point. We're only leaving red one roll, double fives, to come in and take control of the game. Everything else is not a good roll for red. With our builders from the 10, 8, and 6 point, they're all aiming on the 5 point here. So if we don't get hit, we're probably going to cover this spot. We'll have 5 points covered. Red will have two checkers in the bar, and the game will probably most likely be ours. So that's why this is rated the best move by both Tardieu and XG. It's a little hard to see, but if you can see it, 21 to 5, that's the move to make. So these factors all support the bold play. Red's checker on the bar gives us some extra advantages to be able to play boldly. Red's blot on their 3 point lets us play boldly, not worry about being hit because they've got that blot on their 3 point that we can hit back. And their blot on the 5 point compels us to play bold and hit it because we want to fight for those good points. We want to fight for our 5 point. So we should hit, play bold. Our advanced anchor on the 21 point also supports bold play because that advanced anchor will allow us to come in easily if we do get hit, and it ensures that we won't get primed and ensures that we won't get blitzed either. Well, that anchor, that's very safe or very something we can rely on. We compare our home board, our 4 point home board, with Red's 2 point home board. That supports bold play because if we get into a hitting contest, Red will be hurt more. They'll find it harder to come in against our 4 point home board. We'll have an easier time getting in against their 2 point home board. And our checkers on the 8 and 10 points and the 6 point, also the extra builder on our 6 point, are all aiming at the 5 point, our 5 point. So that if we do hit their blot loose on the 5 point, all those checkers on the 8, 10, and our 6 point are aiming at that plot that we can hit and cover next time. Tardieu summary: with a weak enemy board and a blot to hit here on the 3 point, it's better to have two of our opponent's checkers on the bar against a 4 point board. 1, 2, 3, 4. Than it is having one checker against a 5 point board. So we should hit loose here. Because of Red's weak board. Their 3 prime here, their 2 point home board, and their blot over here. And their checker on the bar. In the previous problem 3 in chapter 4, it was very similar. We had an option of either making a point or hitting loose. In problem 3, we decided to play safe and not hit loose. And that's because of Red's stronger home board. So we compare the two positions. Here's 404, the one we just went over. Red's got a weak board, so we should play bold. We're not afraid of getting trapped behind Red's weak board. In the previous problem 3, Red's strong board here prevented us from playing boldly. We should play safe here because we don't want to get sent back and held behind their prime. Get stuck behind there. Compare the two. Here's 4.03 with Red's stronger board. We should play safely. And 4.04, Red's weaker board lets us play more boldly. So we should look at the whole board and we would see that Red's weak board here lets us play boldly. I decided to modify the problem, change the roll from double force to 3-1, so that now we have it double with 3-1. We have the option of either making the 5 point or hitting loose in the 2 point. Given Red's weak board, I'm assuming that Tardieu will say hit the hit the blot here and not make the 5 point, which is what happens when you look at XG. With red's weak board here, even though we can make the 5 point, XG says hit loose on the 2 point. Would be a little bit of a mistake. Not too bad, because 5 is a good point. But XG still says to hit loose on the 2 point rather than make the 5 point. To me, this reinforces the notion that when we are blitzing and our opponent has a weak board, like they do over here, boldly hitting a sending a second checker to the bar is recommended over making another point, even if it's making the 5 point. We still should hit loose. Be sure to check out Alex Eshaghian's YouTube channel, where he has a 4-part series covering features to look for when deciding whether it's best to play bold or safe. The link is in the description.